Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we return for UFRL action in the 100% tier, live from Portimao, Portugal. And let's get straight into things. 17 drivers all battling for supremacy tonight in round 4. And so far, we'll have a little look at the Drivers' Championship. I'm not sure if they've been posted or not. Let me see if I can find out. Just going to scroll down quickly on them all. Okay, so 100 tier standards. Yep, they have been put out. Okay. So Hazer leads the way. Back-to-back victories, of course, at Jeddah and Abu Dhabi, critically for him. And he also, didn't he just win the Tier 1 race, I believe, on Monday night? So Hazer's in a fine way in regards to form. And he is leading the way 12 points ahead of your reigning champion Merck. The top two are running away from the field. And in fact, they are the only two to have picked up 3 race results this season. The rest have all had a minimum of 1 DNF or 1 failure to attend, it seems. So it looks like Hazer and Merck are the two to watch, at least in the early days, this season for a championship potentially. A few drivers are out on track. Bad Boy amongst them in a Haas. Speaking of which, we'll now go through the grid for tonight. So in the Red Bull, we have PRV Widget, and I believe, is he the only Red Bull? So the other Red Bull didn't turn up, quite clearly. Okay, so PRV Widget is the Red Bull in for tonight. The two Ferraris will be Doug and SR Racing. Nice little ending to SR Racing's name there. SR Racing UFRL. Indeed, we shall like that one. You look back towards the Mercedes, and it will be Late Bloomer and Speedy Bullet. So good to see the two Mercs showcasing their talents. The two McLarens, is it just a one actually? It will be WBA Brewdog in that McLaren for tonight. In the Aston Martin, are there any Aston Martins? Yes, there is. Filthy Ghost, of course, very quick in Tier 2. You might be surprised at his car choice, but given the number of Tier 1s on show, it was the most relevant or representative to Ghost's pace. So Aston Martin it is for the Tier 2 title contender. In regards to Tier 1s then, you've got the Alpines with William alongside Coffee. William has not raced in a while, so very keen to see how we can get on tonight as we'll go on board with Bad Boy. Just so you can have something to watch. Unless the Aston Martin is Ghost on a lap. I believe he is. He might actually be the first one as well. So we'll just stick with Ghost whilst we're at it. Unless the Williams, Merc or Jack. Nope, they're not on laps. So therefore we'll stick with Ghost. The AlphaTauris, they're not on laps either. Or it's Hazer. Hazer is on a lap. Sorry, I lied. Hazer's on a lap. Anyways, let's keep going through the field then, as Hazer will go P1. 1:18.2 is the time to beat. And now let's go down towards Filthy Ghost as well, just so you have something to watch out for whilst we're going through the rest of the field. So we've gone through the Aston Martins, the Alpines have been done, and next up will be the Alfa Romeos, as Filthy Ghost 1:17.7 goes fast as himself. We'll drop it down a bit further down towards Brewdog's on medium, so we'll go a little bit towards maybe Late Bloomer, but he's not on a lap. Doug also opting to not go for a lap. What about Willie Fernandez? He is on a lap, so we'll go with the Alpine of Willie Fernandez then. Links slotting in second, SR Racing P3, Brewdog P5, and Doug goes P6. William, fastest second sector as well, according to the game. Anyways, Alfa Romeo will be Rusted Bolt alongside Mr. Poem. Of course, a strong Tier 1 partnership in that one. You've got the Williams duo will be... Who's in the Williams? You've got Merc and Destroyer. Drac. Again, the Tier 1 duos, I've got to say, very, very strong. As you would expect, Tier 1 is a strong tier. You've got a lot of capable drivers in there. And then further down in a Haas, you've got Bad Boy and Link's Peace. And in the AlphaTauri is Poison and Hazer. Hazer, of course, currently going 4th fastest. Poison is on track now. William just slot in 5th fastest. And now we'll try and watch the laps flying in. Destroyer Drac in the Williams. And he goes 6th fastest of 1:18.695. Ghost and Lynx are the leading two at this moment. And there is an AlphaTauri. I want to see who it is. I'm sure Hazer, I think it is. Yep, Hazer remains 4th fastest. So what about the Haas drivers then? Is that Link's Piece or is that Bad Boy? It will be Link's Piece. Let's go up as he's into the pit lane. McLaren of Brewdog maybe go for another lap, but he actually does go in the pits. Doug is finishing up on this lap and it pushes him into the top 5. So 118.3 from Doug. Good effort from him. And Mercedes of Late Bloomer goes 7th fastest as well. 118.487. Very close between Hazer, Doug, William and Late Bloomer, as well as SR Racing at this moment in time. Just 0.3 of a second. Who else? Mr. Poem currently has taken to the track in Sector 1. And you've also got Poison, but he invalidated his last run. Right, looking at the chat. Good evening, Bad Boy. Yep, doing okay. Good, doing okay. How are you doing? So Poison will start another hot lap here, following that invalidation from himself. And you've also got Hazer improving, it seems, by half a second. Therefore, would have to go with the AlphaTauri, because he may be about to go fastest of all so far. Maybe Destroyer Drac. He's also pushing on. Destroyer Drac does stay where he is, but Hazer goes second fastest, not quite quickest. 8 thousandths of a second behind Filthy Ghost. But Hazer slotting in onto the front row. Again, very strong time. Going to have plenty of competition there, where you may have the other AlphaTauri or Poison pushing on. But again, another invalidation from Poison, struggling to get a time in at this moment in time. Rusted Bolt just allowing drivers through, has invalidated his time. Mr. Poem pushing on, and we'll see what the Alfa Romeo can slot in. It definitely won't be amongst the quickest. 118.7. He goes 9th fastest. And then you got Bad Boy 22.1 through Sector 1, just show up as purple. Through the one little section you can see it was purple, but the rest was all yellow or green. Jesus. Don't tend to see that a lot, but it is the Alfa Romeo. Is that Mr. Poem? Or was that his teammate? Well, they're both going slowly. They're both going slowly, but it doesn't mean anything bad at all. Let's go back towards... Where's Drac at the moment? He is improving by almost 0.3 of a second. Ran out of ERS completely, so no battery as he crosses the line. He does improve by 1/10, but it only settles him in P8 again. So no gains on position, but he does improve his time. I'm now back down the field towards Poison, again going slowly. Not sure what's happened on this first stint from the AlphaTauri, but he will remain P17. Hazer still on track, and he is going to try and go again. Not sure he has the battery to really improve on his time, but we'll see what he can do either way. 2 Ferraris, so P4, P5 for SR Racing and Doug. Solid timings from Lem, as a Haas did briefly go wide there. And that would have been Bad Boy. He did briefly go wide. I do imagine he's not lost any wing or anything like that, so he seems okay in that respect. P11, again, no time set from him. Bolt yet to set a time as well, but he is pushing on this lap. Mr. Poem currently, he is not improving and heading into the pit lane. Destroyer Drac now just heading round the bend as well. And we'll see where Drac can fire up his car. Staying P8 at the moment, and he does head into the pit lane. So again, no more improvements from the Williams. Brewdog improving by 0.8 of a second. He is now on the soft compound of tyre as well. Picked up rear wing damage. Rear wing damage? Where did you even pick that up? Not very often you'll get rear wing damage here at Portimao, given it is quite an open track. I'm very surprised about that personally. That doesn't exactly set the stone for the good race that you may have, as Brewdog goes 6th fastest in the McLaren at 118.459. Again, battling out with the midfield of William, Bloomer, Doug, SR Racing not too far ahead, Drac just behind, Poem just behind. They're all pushing on, as there was the Alfa Romeo, I believe, of Bolt just crossing the line again. Did he invalidate another time? A lot of invalidations going around tonight, I have to say. Double right-hander. Okay. I see, yeah, actually. So you must have definitely spun that one quite badly, actually. Can we go on board directly? Is it William just coming through? Nope, it's not William coming through, unfortunately. It is Coffee. So, I say unfortunately, I don't mean it in any bad way, obviously. I just mean it in general, just so we can see which driver it is. So the double right-hander here through turns 1 and 2 into 3, I imagine is what he is speaking about. I presume. I can only presume it's turns 1, 2 and 3. So we must have just slipped out and then got damage on the barrier. So Coffee Purple's through sector 1. And Link's Peace now has gone and improved 3rd place. And it's a 1:17.7. Look how close they are between the top 3. It's almost like you're watching eSport. No, you're not watching eSport. Sorry, that got cancelled. Sorry. Shouldn't really be mentioning that, should I? Esports getting cancelled, eh? Who would have thought that? Jesus Christ. How embarrassing that is, by the way. So Mr. Poem going very, very slowly, allowing cars through, and there was another improvement. It was Rusted Bolt, and the Alfa Romeo will slot himself P4. It's a 1:17.913. So you've got 5 drivers now in the 1:17s, including the Alpine of William, who did improve to settle his car into the top 5. So the Alpine doing well. And again, Woody Fernandez is typical Tier 1 pace, but he hasn't played the game, it seems, for quite a bit. Across the line, a Haas goes, and that would have been Bad Boy again, just trying to fire up his car. With 6.5 minutes remaining, he's still not yet set a time here. Is he in a little bit of trouble? Or is he just playing some sort of strategic game, maybe? We'll find out, but PRV Widget, 120.3, we know we can improve on that, and I'm fairly sure he would improve, or will he? He must have lost a lot of time through Sector 3. Because he stays P14, Merck improves to go into the top 10 of 118.4, still very close between the majority of the field. So, Bad Boy, where is Bad Boy at the moment? Let's just see. Russ Bolt will be 1 to cross the line, but he's not going to improve. Poison now is in Sector 1 as well. Is he pushing on in Sector 1? 22.4 doesn't look particularly rapid from Poison here. Maybe one track where Poison isn't at his strongest. And Bad Boy again has invalidated another time. 5.5 minutes remaining. Bad Boy and Poison yet to set a time. Widget can go quicker than that. Speedy Bullet, well, the Mercedes not improving. Mr. Poem down in P13. And he may still yet drop a few more spots if he cannot improve on a 1:18.7, but not on a push lap here. You've got Late Bloomer, who did improve last time around at 1:18.4. P11, but still not incredible pace, but it is picking himself up around the midfield runners now, just on the back end of that midfield. Merck, P10. But the majority are in the pit lane. Hayes are still going round. Still going for laps here. 1:17.751 for him, but it's not the quickest. That goes to the Aston Martin or Filthy Ghost. And there you go, Poison 1:18.0. And Poison only goes 7th fastest. So, wow. Dominance we were anticipating from Poison is yet to come into fruition here. As Hazer reverts into the pit lane. Speedy Bullet going around, and Mr. Poem just crossing the line to start his flying lap as well. As Bad Boy says, he physically hates this track. Kind of tell by the fact that you cannot get a single time in. And the issue is, even if you wanted to just set a average banker time, let's say you get a mid 1:18, at this moment in time, it's only going to put you around Drac and Bloomer and stuff. Like, you might be P10, you might be P13, whatever, P14, but they're going to all improve, surely. Or at least most of them will still improve their times. That is dangerous. Mr. Poem is already improving through Sector 1 by 0.3 of a second as well. I'll just have a little brief look towards Poison, but he's not improving. So we'll go back down towards Mr. Poem, as he is about to take the Sector 2 line. And let's see here, and he is improving by 0.7 of a second. This is a good lap here for Mr. Poem, with 3.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. Either putting it in the wall or invalidating. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe you'll be better somehow with more fuel on board. Maybe you need a heavier car, not a lighter car. But anyways, now for Romeo of Mr. Poem. Is he going to go quickest? It will be close. It's a 1:17.8 and he goes onto the second row on the cusp of a top 3. Has he got enough time to get back into the pit and go back out? You know what? He will run it close. I don't think he has enough time for that. Yeah, he has no time for that. So that will be it for Mr. Poem then. He will not improve on P4. And with this red light flashing on the field, that will definitely be the end of his qualifying session for Mr. Poem. But P4, 117.830. Good effort, really, to put himself onto the second row. Rusted Bolt is on track as well, his teammate. Further down, Brewdog did improve on its last run by 9/10 of a second. You've got a Ferrari coming down to start their lap. And that will be Doug. A Speedy Bullet is out of the session. And Speedy Bullet has retired somewhere. Oh, I know what Speedy Bullet's done. I know exactly what Speedy Bullet has done. You can clearly see that Mercedes on the track map. So I think everybody can find out very quickly what he has done indeed. Right, Brewdog at C. I still hope there's going to be no improvements just yet. We'll go back towards Doug, but I know he's behind him. Whereas PRV Widget just starting a lap, and then Bolt is improving by 2.5 of a second. So we will go then with Rusted Bolt in the Alfa Romeo. Is this lap quick enough to go quick as a fool? Yes, it is. A 117.626. And Bolt is on pole as things stand by 1/10 of a second. Superb lap time from him. And Brewdog will pout and fire up to start his lap as well. So they're all going to be pushing on here. Doug going round. And who else is potentially improving? Coffee losing time through Sector 1. Poem going slowly and will go into the pit. And what about Filthy Ghost? He's going to have to push on through Sector 1, knowing he has to better his time. PRV Widget still hoping for an improvement as well. And we'll go back towards the Ferrari of Doug. But he was not pushing on that lap. So he remains P10, but he can go for one final lap here. How long do we have? Just under 1 minute remaining. So with about 50 seconds to go here in qualifying. And back towards PRV Widget, still not improving on a provisional 120.287 for PRV Widget. I was expecting quicker from him. Can he improve here? He does improve by 0.6, but it still keeps him P16 and last of the running cars. Now over the line, many drivers are going as SR Racing starts his lap as well. Well, that Coffee does cross the line, does improve, but by 0.005 of a second, not enough of an improvement. He stays P6 for Coffee, and that is Coffee's qualifying session over. And now Link's Peace will start his lap and will go towards the McLaren of Brewdog. But he's going in the pit lane. No improvement. What about the Aston Martin of Ghost? Goes quicker and goes quickest by a country mile. It's a 117.173. And he eliminates his pals and rivals and is half a second clear of Rusted Bolt. A mighty time from the Aston Martin lair as Bad Boy goes 5th fastest, finally gets a time on the board, and it's a strong effort from him. Doug goes in P7, he in the Ferrari, good effort as well from him. And now we'll look down towards at the moment the Alpine of Coffee. Where's Mercat right now? He is just through Sector 3 as well. A lot of them residing in Sector 3. You've got his teammate Destroyer Jack just ahead, PRV Widget, who I don't imagine will improve. So we're going to go towards Destroyer Drac next. And Williams, I'm sure, will have to improve on this run. He surely has to improve. 118.6, he does not improve. I lied. I'm sorry, I did lie. SR Racing, he goes P11. Merc only P10. Not a brilliant lap from him. And now the Alpha Tauri's come in, and Poison goes second fastest. Very close between himself and Filthy Ghost. And that is incredibly close. Link's Peace settles in, third fastest for him. And the last driver will be the Mercedes of Late Bloomer. That means Filthy Ghost has got pole position here. And he's got it by 23 thousandths of a second. Qualifying is completed. Filthy Ghost is on pole position. And we'll just wait for those drivers to go in the pits. But there you go. Very close between the top two. Ghost just pipping Poison at the death. And it is a well taken pole for him. Tier 2 title contender Filthy Ghost taking it away from one of the 100% tier pace setters in regards to Poison. And there you go. Gotta say, Poison done very well in that AlphaTauri to go as fast as he did, especially given he did seem to be struggling to get a time in. So then again, the two drivers who both struggled to get a time in eventually get P2 and P6. I'm pretty sure they'll be satisfied with their qualifying efforts in the end, even though they struggled to get their times in for quite a while in qualifying. So, Filthy Ghost, fastest of all. Poison goes P2. And then you've got Link's Peace, Rusted Bolt, Hazer, Bad Boy, Mr. Poem, Doug, Coffee, and William are 2 Alpines on the cusp, but they're just in the top 10 ahead of Merc, SR Racing, Late Bloomer, Brewdog, Drac, Speedy Bullet, and PRV Widget. So we'll just have a few minutes of a break, so hopefully there'll be no early readied up here in the 100% tier. Can't really afford it, really, can we? Can't have early readied up, come on. Right, so I'll be back in a few minutes' time. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we'll be getting rocking and rolling in a couple of moments. So let's see what will happen here at the start. Fingers crossed, no incidents, and hopefully it'll be all clean going round turn 1 and throughout the whole of lap 1. And here we go. It's 2 lights, it's 3 lights, it's 4 lights, and it's 5 red lights. And here we go at Portimao, and it's lights out, and we are go, 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 and off they go at the front. It's Ghost and Poison side by side into turn 1, and Ghost edges ahead. Yes, he does. It's an AlphaTauri 2 with the Hassan number 3, but going again is Poison down the inside of Ghost, and he goes for the move with explicitity, and through he goes, but Ghost still fighting it. And here we go again, on board with Lynx, who has a great view because he's taking Ghost now, and he goes around the outside, and it is a safety car. Brewdog is out. I'm not sure what has happened there with WBA Brewdog, but he is out of the Grand Prix. But a chaotic start further back quite clearly, but it is a clean getaway from the front 3 with Poison, Ghost and Lynx Peace just ahead. Lynx Peace was about to take Ghost, surely, around at turn... what turn is it? I think it's turn number, if I recall. I think it's turn 5. I believe it is. So I think it's 5. Yeah, it is. So if I count the corners right, it's turn 5. That's correct. But there you go. Lynx Peace was potentially about to take Ghost. But Ghost holds on, and then the safety car called out. It keeps the Aston Martin ahead. So it is a safety car. We'll be under it for maybe not too long. It may only be a couple of laps, in fact. Taking into account everybody's already behind the field. I don't know if anybody's going to make a pit stop low. They could very well do so. I'm very sure a lot of those higher up the field won't be considering a pit stop. So we'll just go through the field if we can and see if anybody's thinking about it. Well, William is. So, I mean, something. Maybe potentially Willie Fernandez Brewdog. If I have a little look at the race director screen, William started P10, Brewdog started P14. Not sure. Can't imagine Brewdog getting that much of a better start than William. Well, that's what's going on, and apparently there's a... oh, it was only a virtual safety car. Sorry, I thought it was a full course. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at that. It was only a virtual safety car. Look at the gap between the top 3 and the rest. That has killed William Fernandez, though. Under the virtual safety car, he has lost so much ground now. He is 30 seconds away from the top 15 because he needed to change his front wing as well. But Ghost, I'm very sure, has gone wide, and maybe a track limits warning already for the Aston Martin. He still resides in P2, and it is Poison, Ghost and Lynx who are running away with the things. Very similar to what Ghost had to do in Tier 2, battling out at the front with Black Panther and Salty Stevens. That is, sorry about that. That's exactly what Ghost was doing, and he's doing a very similar thing here with Poison and Lynx. Fastest laps flying through. Ghost taking the fast lap. Is he going to go for the overtake side by side again? It's turn 1. He gets the move done, and job done. He's up to P1. Poison settles in behind, and now we'll turn off their telemetry as well because, well, might as well. Top 3 though, they've got a big 3-second advantage here over Hazer, and then you've got a gap running down to pretty much Speedy Bullet, all within DRS. Late Bloomer just losing a little bit of time as they're going side by side again here. Poison and Ghost keep going side by side, and that could allow for the group from P4 downwards to track and maybe run up to this top 3. But the gap does solidate at 2.5 seconds. But it is slightly going down, but ever so slightly. Back up to 2.7 seconds now. That gap between P3 Lynx down to P4 Hazer. It's unfortunate for Brewdog though, because I know he has not had too much luck going about him this season. In Tier 2 he did not get any luck at all. I believe he got a disconnection. And the game... well, under the safety car, the game kept him out on the hard tyres. Everybody else boxed for fresh softs. Kind of felt a bit sorry passing him, to be honest with you, on the last lap. In all fairness, because he would have got a better position potentially, because a few drivers had 3-second time penalties as well. Well, let's see here. Poison's going to do a similar aspect. He did have DRS, but he sticks in behind Ghost, as Ghost now already has a 3-second penalty. Well, that does not fare well for the Aston Martin's Grand Prix, because that 3 seconds could already kill his chances for victory. And I think he may have ran wide again, and that would have been on the exit of turn 4. So he can't keep running wide here, Filthy Ghost, as our links piece getting ever so close now to Poison, and thinking that he was going to make a move for a moment. But Poison's back in it. I'm really wanting to take his place here away from Ghost, and just not quite close enough. Very close, but not close enough. And the top 3 are the ones to watch. Yellow flags for Coffee in the Alpine. The 2 Alpines now lie P15 and P16. Not a great start from those 2. William obviously caught up in the incident with Brewdog in one way or another. Can't exactly clarify if it was an incident with Willie Fernandez or if he was just caught up in something. I mean, he started 4 positions, 4 positions higher, was it? I don't understand how Willie Fernandez could have got that, but either way, here comes Link's pace. He goes down the inside of Poison. He'll go down the inside of Ghost as well. And into turn 1, he just stays in behind. But has Poison tried to get himself back ahead? No, he has to hang in there. But he's only P3 now, Poison. So Link's pace, showcasing some talent, showcasing some pace. And he's up onto the podium, and he's up into second, and he's going to be up to first. Here comes the Haas driver. But just for a moment, Ghost just moving and breaking the toe. Only 1 defensive move needed for the Aston Martin. And there you go, Link's not taking the place. But the ones at the front are the ones we have to stick with. I know there's going to be battles going on further back. Mr. Poem has made a blistering getaway. Meanwhile, he is up into the top 5 and trying to close that gap towards Hazer. Let's just see how the position changed. Well, he's only gained 2 places, but he was behind Rusted Bolt, his teammate. So he's overtaken Bolt and he's overtaken Bad Boy. Up 7 spots, Destroyer Jack, who was down in P15. So he's up to P8 already. Merc is up a couple of spots into P9. And you got Speedy Bullet and Widget taking the 4 places due to Coffee, William, and Late Bloomer struggles. Late Bloomer now. Well, he may have had that. Maybe Late Bloomer could he have been the one with the incident with Coffee potentially? Well, Bloomer either way is now down to P16. And now here we go again. This will be Link's piece for the lead of the race for the first time in the Haas, and tonight he takes the lead. So the informed Tier 1 driver, Link's piece, or one of the informed drivers in Tier 1 for sure, he's up into the race lead in the 100% tier. I've got to say, Link's piece's pace over the past season or so has drastically improved, and he is impressing, and up to P1 he goes. And what about that of Poison? I think he'll just hang in there. One's a little bit deep for his liking potentially. Maybe just to ensure he does not run into the rear of Filthy Ghost. And now Widget receives a 3-second time penalty in P13. So not really a major penalty as such, but they're still going at it, these 2. Losing a little bit of time towards Link's piece at 0.6 of a second now are Filthy Ghost and Poison. They can't let Link's piece get away, otherwise he will run away. So these 3 have to work together. Hazer's not too far off, 2.2 seconds. Hazer's pace has been somewhat impressive as well. And he's not far adrift, so Hazer could be one to watch. And he's really closing in now. At 2.1 seconds, Hazer is coming. And will he be coming at a flash here? On lap 7 now, we're about to start. Fastest lap for Link's piece, no surprise, he's been rapid on that lap. But here comes a chance, here comes Ghost again. And into turn 1 for the treble right-handers here. At 1, 2 and 3, Ghost hangs in and hangs in behind on Link's piece, who retains the race lead. Further down you got Poem, just behind, I say just behind, he has dropped back now from Bolt at 0.9 of a second. And you got Bad Boy, Destroyer Jack, Merc and Doug keeping up as well. Doug's teammate SR Racing in the Ferrari, 0.6 of a second behind Speedy Bullet, and down the inside goes Destroyer Jack. What happened there? I think there's contact between Destroyer Jack and Mr. Poem as well. Poem has lost a place to Bad Boy. Jack has lost a place to his teammate Merc. Oh, and down the inside I think was going Doug there. Doug attempting to dive down the inside on Destroyer Jack, unable to do the move and complete it. So Doug remains P10. Bit of a risky move out from Doug, but then there was a bit of a risky move beforehand, I have to say, from Jack. I don't think Jack was going to go for the move. I think it may have just been a result of late braking, in all fairness. I don't imagine he wanted to go for an overtake there. Right, now let's go. I think we're going to go forward, actually, because we're going to see what happens here right at the front of the field. With Link's Piece, Filthy Ghost. There you go, Link's Piece making one defensive move and returning to the racing line. Natural driving from Link's Piece, an absolute beauty. It can very well be done, and it was done then from Link's Piece. And he done it well. He still stays in P1. There you go, very easy. You don't have to weave all the time. Right, hello to Geordie. Hello to Geordie. There you go. I think I got your name spot on there. Right. Oh, yellow flags. It's for Bad Boy when he was struggling to get a lap in. I know that in qualifying. But now he's down to P12. Does he have any front wing damage? Does not look like it. Thank you for the raid as well, Geordie. Hope you're doing good. This is the 100% tier, although I can guess you can see from the number of laps that we are doing here. 66 in total. Only 8 completed here at Portimao. And now Lynx, Ghost and Poison continuing to vie, but Hazer is closing the gap as well, down to 1.7 seconds. Oh, and was that a move, a little cheeky move down the inside there from Poison. He had an attempt and a look, and you know what? That's only favouring one driver, and that is Hazer. I wonder if that was a tactical move from Poison. The reality is they haven't lost a lot of time to Link's Piece, so the fact that Hazer is still closing in this gap at this pace is quite remarkable. But here comes a remarkable feature, because Ghost goes down the inside of Link's Piece and he is back into the race lead. Oh, and was that a little bit of contact there? A little cheeky tap from Link's Piece as Ghost now trying to re-hold that position, and he does hold it ahead of Link's, Poison, and now Hazer's trying to join in. Bit surprised he hasn't just yet, but they go potentially. It's 3 wide, 2 wide. Down inside goes Poison. Unbelievable move on Ghost, but they're back at it 3 wide again. Through goes Link's Piece. He's done a double overtake. It's breathtaking stuff here, and Link's Piece has gone from P3 to P1 in one corner. Dramatic stuff from the Haas. Incredible move, and that was turn 5 for you. Superb from Link's Piece. Absolutely brilliant, and that's why he's a tier 1 race winner. And now yellow flags further back for PRV Widget, I believe, in the Red Bull just ahead of Coffee. Wouldn't surprise me if Willie Fernandez catched him up fairly quickly, but one man who was catching and catching fast is Hazer in the second AlphaTauri. He's already within a second now. He went out of it not too long ago. He was, what, 2.5, 3 seconds away from the top 3. And now he's in DRS range. Hazer has got pace. Watch out for the AlphaTauris here. And now running down again into turn 1. No real defence there from Lynx. As Ghost will go through. I'm sure the top 2 will realise the AlphaTauris are here. And they are P3 and P4. Rooting for Mr. Poem. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. And now he's having a little battle, it seems, with Merc. Do apologise to these two. I know they'll probably watch this afterwards. And they'll be a bit disappointed that this hasn't exactly been caught much, but that's only because you've seen a battling going on for P1, and at the same time, it's Mercury Poem as Poem looking for a move down the inside. And again, that would have been an opportunist move into turn 5, but he doesn't go for it here, as we're exiting out through into turns 6, into turn 7 as well, and through down at turn 8. And now let's see if any moves can be made here from Mr. Poem, as Bad Boy has unfortunately picked up a 3-second penalty. His race is going from bad to worse here in Haas, down in P12. Not ideal for him. That used to be a very tricky corner, you know, out of turn number, what was it, turn 11. Turn 11 would have been tricky, as was turn 8 as well. Turn 8 was very challenging at times on the old game. So the fact that now it's not too bad traction-wise, as Mr. Poem is going for a very direct inside line, and he will make the overtake on Merc, and he will be up into the top 6 once more. So let's see that incident with Destroyer Jack a couple of laps to go, not holding him back, and Poem is back ahead of 2 Williams of Merc, and Jack are in there, but Merc receives a 3-second time penalty. Incredible stuff. We'll have to go further up the field again, because here comes a chance maybe for Ghost or Poison, but they stay in behind Hazer in P4 again. He's not quite going for a move yet. I think he's happy just to sit in there and relax. I don't think he's relaxing all too much though, because he's got 3 quick drivers up ahead. Lynx, Ghost and Poison leading away from Hazer. I think we can't go away from this, can we? How can we move away from this? I am so sorry to Mr. Poem, to Merc. They're both battling, and they've both been battling really hard, really well. But the top 4 are all going at it here. We have to stick with them. We just have to stick here with the top 4 until we get a chance where we can really break away. But especially when they're about to go onto the straight. Oh, a little bit slidey there from Poison in that first leading AlphaTauri driver back in P3. But here comes a chance again for Ghost. And you'll see the amount that he will close up. Doesn't even need to use his battery because he makes a clean move. It's very simple for him to do that. Up to P1 now. I mean, Lynx, Peace, Poison and Hazer all follow in at P2, P3 and P4. And we'll go back towards Lynx Peace then. I do think Lynx may think, you know what, I'll go for the move, or will he just hang in behind? He will try and go side by side. He will go side by side. A dive into turn 5. And has he got the move done? Oh yes, you betcha. And he's up into P1, overtaking Ghost, who tries to fight him back. He's all over the rear of Lynx Peace. It's been immense battling here between these 4 drivers now. It was 3, but it's up to 4 due to Hazer joining in. It's been quite remarkable here. Mr. Poem now is in a Williams sandwich. Merc has got the move done. He's up to P6, Poem P7, Drac in P8. And that trio having a little ding-dong battle further back here from these race leaders. And then you got Rusted Bolt, who has got a very... I've got to say, it's looking like a lonely race at the moment for Rusted Bolt. He is 3.3 seconds away from his top 4. And he's 4 seconds ahead of the pack behind him. Speaking of which, Doug has just dropped off. He's on a hard tyre, however, Doug. But he's 1.1 second away from Destroyer Drac. And here comes Filthy Ghost once more. And again, he re-overtakes Lynx Peace and is back into P1. Further back, Hazer, 0.7 of a second. He's not going for any moves here, Hazer. He is remaining patient. I think he realises he's had 1 or 2 little incidents. One especially in the international tier last Saturday. So I think Hazer's just trying to relax a little bit about things, maybe. Hopefully. Let's see how this race continues to unfold. Go down a little bit more. As Coffee now get rid of his mediums. And there you go, a move being done there from Mr. Poem. Yellow flags. Potentially for Bad Boy once again. He is really struggling tonight. Not having the race of his life, is he? Down in P12 and struggling, but Poem got the move there on Merc. Back up into P6. Out of the pits goes Coffee. It's soft tyres for Coffee as well. For a moment, Merc may have gone for the move round the outside again. Would have been tricky on the exit of turn 11 there. That would have been a challenge, but Merc not going for that move, but hanging directly behind him with Drac and now Doug back in the picture at 0.8 of a second. Let's go back up to this little group to see if anything will change. It looks like nothing will change. Nothing will change into turn 1. They hang in there. We'll go back towards this one because Merc will go down the inside of Mr. Poem before they enter turn 1. Poem joins a slipstream, and this will be a defensive move to try and keep Drac behind, and indeed he does. Drac stays in P8. And on the cusp, we'll go back up the field as Poison's round! Unbelievable. Poison is round. He's going backwards, and he is dropping down to P5. Drac picks up a 3-second time penalty, and Poison is down to P9. What on earth has happened? Surely there was no contact there. He was way too far away from anyone else. I say that, I know he was battling in that group, but it was P3. He had a big enough gap to the 2 ahead of him, and from what I saw, it looked like a big enough gap to Hazer behind him as well. As Poison just lost it on his own on the exit of turn 4. That is very much a potential opportunity there that Poison has done that. I'm not saying it's certain. There could have been an incident, don't get me wrong. but I'm only saying what I could have saw from the deltas. It didn't look like anyone was close enough, especially knowing all 4 drivers are very quick, that there could have been a collision there. But who knows? There could have been. But I'm only going by what I saw from the deltas. Then again, if Lynx is going to change his front wing, let's watch this one. It's yellow flags. It is for Bad Boy again. Not the race he needs. But he's not changing his wing here, Lynx piece. So clearly just a strategic move to go for the hard tyres. So no front wing damage for Lynx. Bad Boy continues to stay out. It would not shock... you know what would shock me? It would shock me if Bad Boy finishes this race. He must be so frustrated, bless him. And out the pits goes Poison. He was in a battle with Lynx piece, but now look at the gap between himself and Lynx. That is quite formidable. And the gap between himself and Lynx stands at about 13 seconds. 13 seconds, and they're both on the same tyre. That is not good news. Nice. Oh, I feel a bit sorry for Poison, but whatever happened, well, he may have lost it on turn 4. He may have had some contact with somebody else. I cannot be certain. I know Ghost was ahead, I know Lynx was ahead, and I know Hazer was behind. But I can only take guesses at this. I can't clarify if there was or was not any contact in regards to Poison, but he is definitely closing up to Widget at a rapid speed. So I do anticipate he will make that move on Widget very soon. We're just sticking here with this little group. Poem losing ground to Merc. Destroyer Jack was closing in. He's about 0.3 of a second away, but remains in P6. And there you go, Poison does get the job done on PRV Widget. And that was before they even exited down our turn 14. So Poison has got the job done and is up into the top 12. But that's not where he will want to be here. And again, sometimes being P13, sometimes it's not too bad. What's he done again? He's out. Poison has retired in the pit lane. What on earth has happened then? This is a crazy 2 or 3 lap spell for Poison. Genuinely want to know what's happened to him. But there you go, he's out either way. Coffee sets a fast lap on his soft compound tyre. Poison is out, and that means we're down towards Ghost. We're down to Hazer, but Hazer... The reason why he's out of DRS range of Ghost, meanwhile, is because Lynx piece had to pit, Poison spun, and Hazer was P4, Ghost was P1. Take into account that they weren't exactly 0.2 of a second away from each other. And that is why there's a fair gap now. Hazer does not have DRS, and he's nowhere near it. He's 2.9 seconds away. So it's not like Hazer's made a mistake, it's just that the fact that Lynx pitted, and Poison, well, obviously he had a little spin. Whether or not there was contact, I can't clarify. And then obviously he DNF'd on the last lap. But Hazer has lost ground due to not having any DRS and back out wide. Is that? Don't tell me again. It's Bad Boy. Yep, of course. He's a... Oh my gosh, that is a snap and a half on the Haas. I don't think Bad Boy is enjoying this Haas car, and I do get the impression right now, I think I know what's coming, surely. Surely I know what's coming. Yeah, that was always going to happen there. He was struggling. Now we can sit back, maybe try and enjoy the race by watching it rather than actually racing in it. So he was struggling. Unfortunate for Brewdog, and I don't know what exactly happened with Poison. Maybe a bit of frustration from the AlphaTauri, but either way, he's out, and that may cost him a little bit in the championship as well. If he wanted to push up there, push for the title again this season, like he was pushing for it last season, then it's not going to do anything based on this result. And with Hazer and P2, Merc already up into the top 4, by the way. Merc, I know he has a 3-second time penalty, but still doing a very good job. And Ghost now is over 3 seconds ahead of Hazer. They've done 17 laps on their medium tyres. Doug is still hanging in there with Destroyer Jack, with Mr. Poem and Merc. They're all just about in DRS range. Although, when I say just about, I can't. You know, look how close that is. I mean, Destroyer Jack's not even in it now. Oh, yes, he is. And now it's Mr. Poem who's not in it. to Perm. That's lost about half a second, 6/10 of a second towards Merck. So that's put him in a little bit of trouble now because Drac and Doug are all over the rear of him. Speedy Bullet is just exiting the pit lane, and behind PRV Widget and William he goes. So obviously William's still yet to pit. Well, he has pitted, but that was lap 1. I cannot confirm exactly what happened. I don't know if there was contact. The top 2 had a fair little gap towards him. They were about what 4-5 tenths of a second ahead of him, I believe, and then he had a little gap towards Hazer behind him as well. And then out of turn number 4, which is that short straight, he was found. He just spun. So I don't know if there was any contact because I wasn't on board with any of those 4 at the time. I was back with I think Mr. P, with Merck, and Destroyer Drac. So I didn't quite watch what happened exactly, but then the next lap, I don't know why he retired in the pit lane. He overtook PRV Widget around a bend at turn number 14. May have been just before that, maybe turn 13 in fact. So between turn 13 and 14 he overtook PRV Widget, which is like not the final corner, but a second final corner and the third final corner. So just before you start the bend, I can show you now. Where Late Bloomer is now, roughly, is where he was. And then after he overtook Widget, he then pulled into the pit and retired his car. So I don't know exactly the reasoning on that. I don't know if he sustained any damages, potentially from his spin. But then he boxed for fresh tyres, and I thought, okay, he's still pushing on. And then 1 lap after, he decided to retire in the pit lane. I know why Bad Boy retired. I think I know. He was just struggling badly throughout the race, and qualifying. So there's no surprises that Bad Boy in the end retired. I was kind of expecting it. I think he done well to last as long as he pretty much did, in all fairness to him. Right, and now into the pits goes Destroyer Jack. I think he was about to... Oh, no, that's not good. A 5-second time penalty. I know all about them, personally, from personal experience on Tuesday night. But there you go, Destroyer Jack. We'll have to serve that 5-second time penalty as well, unless he tries to take hard to the end, and that'll be a miracle job. I think appealing a 5-second penalty. Oh, he's not even going to try that anyway. He has to pit again because he's going for fresh softs. Let's see how far ahead of SR Racing he is. He will be quite a margin ahead. So the Ferrari is how far away from him? So he's 8, 5.6, 4.5, 4 seconds maybe. Still going down, but it's not going to go much further down now. It's about 3.5 to 4 seconds. About 3.5. There you go. 3.5 seconds between Drac and SR Racing now. So Drac is in clear air. He has nobody to battle with, so that undercut is effectively going to work for him, as Doug receives a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, Portugal, I know, it is a tricky track. A couple of sections are difficult when it comes to traction, but the problem is, I think in particular, well, last year's game in F1 22, you were struggling for traction a lot out of turn 8, and sometimes at turn 11 as well. Turns 8 and 11 were struggles for traction. So Doug gets a move on Perm, and those hard tyres are now beginning to work for Doug. The mediums are starting to fade away now. So Doug, arguably, out of those in the top 6, is looking like the quickest driver. Who'd have thought we'd ever say that? Then again, let's see if he genuinely is the quickest in that top 6. Is he closing in on Ghost? That's when we can... Oh my god, he's closing on Ghost. Wait, is that... Oh, hang on, he just lost time. Never mind, I lied. He lost time. He was legit closing in on Ghost. I thought, oh my god, Doug is the quickest driver in the whole of the top 6. He's not losing much time though, still 16 seconds. Just trying to keep watch of that and see if there's any improvements. What about Speedy Bullet? Is now ahead of William. I think William has got absolutely nothing to fight with. And Ghost has got another 3 seconds. That's 6 seconds that Ghost now has in terms of time penalties. We'll show for you here Those are the penalty situations, and it's 6 seconds for Ghost, 6 seconds for Widget. They are P1 and P12 respectively. And it's 3 seconds for Merc, 3 seconds for Doug, and 3 seconds for Destroyer Drac, and they are P4, P5, and down in P14 now. Destroyer Drac. Why is he P14? He was on mediums. So he's had to box again. I think he just wanted to get rid of his 5 seconds. My apologies on just going quiet. Just had a little drinks break. We are 1/3 into the race. No safety cars yet, interestingly. But Mr. Poem now 1 second behind Doug. He was still trying to keep up in DRS range, but he has briefly lost it. Link's piece is closing the gap, and he's on those 7-lap old hard tyres. They will be much superior to Doug and Mr. Poem's tyres right now. So PRV Widget is exiting the pit lane. Is he ahead of Destroyer Drac? Surely not. I think Destroyer Drac may he's only just going to be ahead of Widget. This ain't good. This is not good for Drac's race. I mean, I don't know why he served a 5-second penalty when he did. Surely, for me, he would have been better off just to stay out. But there you go. Speaking of, well, not staying out, it is Filthy Ghost and Russell Bolt, your top 2. They were only separated by Link's piece in the race, and Hazer, of course, who's on first mediums now. Doug, where Doug's got a 5-second time penalty. Speeding in the pit, so not ideal for the Ferrari. Serving that now. And there you go. Well, he won't serve it now, sorry. My apologies. He will serve it later in the event. Hazer and Ghost going side by side. Ghost on 1 lap fresher tyres. Hazer looks like he's got the move done, so that clear undercut from Hazer has worked to a clear advantage here, as Hazer is back out in P1. Ghost tried to level it up by making that pit stop 1 lap later. Was hoping he would hold on to P1, but he's lost out, and through goes the AlphaTauri of Hazer. And right now Hazer, well, is he on net P1? Well, the question makes it tricky. It depends on strategy. Depends what Poem is thinking, and depends what Lynx is going to do as well. Lynx piece surely will have to box again. I think they're all going to have to pit once more at least. From what I'm seeing, Mr. Poem, though, unless he's going for medium hard, I'll be completely honest, not a strategy I normally expect from Poem. I'm expecting a 2-stop, or not expecting a 3-stop now, but a 2-stopper surely for Mr. Poem. And there you go. Now he is the final driver to take his place into the pit lane. And now continuing with this battle, they will close the gap towards Link's piece very quickly. And Ghost will very quickly make the move, or will he? Yes, he will. And down at turn 1, and the Aston Martin takes Hazer back into P1. Still, Ghost has 6 seconds of time penalties. Not sure how much practice he's been doing at this track, but Portimao is becoming a difficult circuit for him, for several other drivers when it comes to track limits. We did see that very early on in qualifying, with the invalidations being posted by Bad Boy and Poison, and ironically enough, both have DNF'd as well. And again, don't really want to say the same thing, because then Ghost may be DNFing if he continues to struggle. But hopefully, I say struggle, I don't mean for pace. He's clearly got the pace here. But when I'm saying for struggling, I'm more suggesting it due to track limit, which 6 seconds, when it's very obvious that he is having a little bit of a struggle just keeping his wheels between the white lines. Hazer is just hanging in there, but he is starting to drop back slowly, but he will regain that confidence that he'll get with a slipstream, with the DRS, maybe a little bit of battery as well, just to keep pace here with Filthy Ghost. And Ghost to 1:20.493 is the quickest lap we've seen so far. And I've got to say, a very impressive lap from Ghost, given that pole was only in the 1:17s, to get into the 1:20s with over 40 laps of fuel remaining on medium tyres is an impressive feat, that, from Ghost. Not sure how much battery he was trying to use on that run, but wow, that is impressive pace there from him. This is the only battle going on right now. The two Alpines of Coffee and William have traded places as well. And let's see what can happen here. So just running through at turn 11 and just on the exit into 12 and 13. There's a little bit onto the curb, but there goes Ghost. That may give Hazer a little bit more confidence heading around the bends here, especially through on the exit of turn 14, and maybe an opportunity for Hazer. They are still closing on Link's piece, but they are not closing at a particularly rapid rate. 2.8 seconds is the current gap between them, and Link's piece holding his own. He's on 7, or in the case of Ghost, 8 laps older on his hard tyres. But I think now they are starting to make quicker inroads. They will go quicker, particularly through the corners here. So Sector 1 and Sector 2 should be their best friends, really. But Sector 3 may be where Link's piece, if he's got the straight line speed, that may be a chance for him to run away a little bit more, but I don't think he'll be able to. So it will be very obvious that both Ghost and Hazer will close in on Link's piece. Link's piece may be in a little bit of trouble here, but then again, at least he's going to use those hard tyres up. And is he going to think about going to the end? That'll be a very tricky and challenging strategy call. I don't think he's going to try and go to the end. I would be very surprised if he did that. That's Destroyer Drac just taking late bloomer and up into P12, but that's far away from Drac would have wanted to be here. So Ghost not in DRS range. I wonder if Hazer's going to make this move now. If he's going to think, you know what? No, he's too far behind. Surely he's too far behind here. Surely he's too far behind here. Into turn 1. He just about considered himself a little bit too far back, but he was really closing in. As he thinks again on his move down the inside at turn 3. Holds off, and on the exit of 4, on the run down to turn 5, this may be a chance for Hazer to go for the overtake here. But he's not quite there, and Ghost stays ahead, and Ghost now has DRS on Link's piece. Top 3 back together again. Don't worry, no, they're not like One Direction getting back together and then they'll probably end up breaking apart at some point, don't you worry. Hopefully they'll stick at it, but then again we may lose Link's piece eventually because those hard tyres being a fair bit older, they will have some woes in this race, I'm sure. As our Speedy Bullet has left the race, I will need to give him an invitation back. I don't even know if I have Speedy Bullet, if I'm completely honest. If I have him, I will invite him. If I do not have him, I cannot invite him. I do have him. There you go. If he needs another invite, please let me know on the chat. But hopefully he'll be okay. To get back in, that was Speedy Bullet. Right, back at it here. And look how close they are between the top 3. Keep it clean. And now on the run down to turn 1. And Hazer is there. Ghost is there. They both passed Link's piece. And who is ahead? It's Ghost, surely. Yes, he is. And Ghost hangs in there superbly as Link's piece trying to fight it back. But I've got to be honest, he won't have much grip in comparison to Ghost and Hazer here. He will do remarkably well just to keep up with these top 2. Hopefully later on he'll go for maybe mediums to the end. Maybe risk a set of softs. But there you go, Link's piece on the hard tyres doing very well now. Just try and keep pace with those top 2. Can he do it? That's the next question. Further down, I think Coffee will be about to take the AI of Speedy Bullet. There you go. Coffee makes his move on Speedy Bullet, and Speedy Bullet drops to P10. And of course, the AI of Speedy Bullet will also lose the place, I'm pretty sure, on William as well. And now here at Portimao, running down at turns 14 once more. And into turn 15. And let's see, on the run out of turn 15 now, Filthy Ghost is well clear. Hazer is well clear of Link's piece. So Link's is still in DRS range. Will he lose it at any point? Of I've got to say, he will do very well. He will do a very impressive job from Lynx if he stays within 1 second of his competitors here in Ghost and Hazer. Just having a little look back towards Lynx. Lynx 9/10 of a second, about a second behind now, and Hazer with the overspeed not quite overtaking Ghost, but again sticking in there. And his Lynx piece now outside of 1 second. I think he just about is. He's going to have to really push on this lap here, Lynx piece, just to get back, because he's losing DRS now. He's 1.2 seconds behind. And now Ghost and Hazer can focus on themselves here rather than thinking, where is Lynx piece? Going further down the field, and William now does take Speedy Bullet. I did give him an invitation. I do think he's wanting another one. I imagine he'll want another one. And we shall give Speedy Bullet one more invite. No, we won't. I lied. He's not even online. I can't give him an invite if he's not even online. Once he gets online, maybe we can try and get him an invite, but we can't do it now. Right. So Late Bloomer into the pits, and he is onto a fresh set of the medium compound tyre. And unfortunately for him, he has also been lapped from your race leaders. So Ghost and Hazer have now lapped, and as has Lynx. And Bolt will be coming up close behind Late Bloomer as well. Bloomer not having the best of races here. Mercedes down in P14 and has lapped from the rest of the field. The top three, well, the top two, certainly, of Ghost and Hazer running away. I've got to say, Hazer is in a very good situation. He knows he just needs to finish this race where he's at right now. He will come away with P1, knowing that Ghost has 6 seconds of time penalties. No chance for Ghost to get the P1, surely. If he wins this, Ghost, then what a job he has done, because 6 seconds of time penalties, you cannot get them removed through the pit lane. So that is going to be a challenge here for Ghost. Just watching the timings, it's close between the top two, but it's also closed down in P7. I think Poem, where are they at the moment? Just exiting out into the sector 3 right now between SR Racing and Poem, but just watching this battle here between Ghost and Hazer, I do think Mr. Poem is about to protect that place as Ghost stays ahead of Hazer right now. And now I'm just going to briefly go towards this, because surely Mr. Poem will get the place of SR Racing here, as long as he doesn't get pushed off track, of course, and hopefully he doesn't. And here comes Mr. Poem, and he will go down the inside. A very simplistic move. I'm going to have to move a little bit away again, but just for the moment, just because Ghost was looking to defend from Hazer, which he did successfully do. Hazer stays P2, and Mr. Poem has completed the move on SR Racing and is up to P7. William has worked his way up to P9. He's on 29 lap old hard tyres. He's had to go on the long stint here on those hard, and to be fair to him, he has done a pretty solid job to get himself into P9. There's a safety car now. This will bring William right back into it. Oh, I hope there is going to be a safety car at some point, just to... I want to see the grid close up again. And if there is a safety car, I hope Late Bloomer decides, you know what, I'm staying out for the first lap. Allow everyone else to box, unlap yourself, and then go in the following lap. That's what Late Bloomer needs to think in his mind right now. But here is another chance. Here is Hazer. And on the run through to turn 1, will he go for it down the inside? He was looking, he doesn't go. And Ghost sticks and holds the position right now. So there you go, on the exit of turn 3 into turn 4. The left-hander, a little tricky bend, that one. Sometimes you can have the occasional loss of traction, particularly with older tyres. And now down the inside goes Hazer. Is he in the lead? He looks like he's completed it. And Hazer is back in front and pushing for 3 consecutive victories in the 100% tier this season. And there you go. Hazer now leads from Filthy Ghost. It's looking good for Merc, your reigning champion. P2 in the championship. But he is already only P5 in this race with a time penalty to boot. Can Mr. Poem get himself back into this race? Down at P7 behind Doug. And then you've also got SR Racing needing to box. William will obviously need to get rid of those hard tyres. Is he trying a one-stop strategy here though, William? It is potentially on for him. And SR Racing soft tyres, I'm sure, won't be feeling unbelievably good. They may be beginning to struggle as well in the Ferrari. So let's go and stick with this. Ghost, I think he'll want to take the race lead back here into turn 1, and he was looking for it down the inside, but again it stays in behind. So now it's all down to this little one, Hazer, Filthy, Ghost. On the run down, here we go, and I thought Ghost was about to take him there, but Hazer hangs out ahead. And on the exit of turn 5, it's still Hazer from Ghost here. And at Portimao, we are half the race distance down. If it was a 50%, this would be the final lap. SR Racing, 30-second time penalty. It would have been a final lap with no safety cars as well. Obviously, we've only got the 33 laps remaining, so anything can still happen. There can still be safety cars. There can still be another virtual. There has been a virtual safety car if you were wondering. And that was on lap 1 and ended by lap 2. So had nothing since then, no other safety cars or virtual safety cars. It's just that one singular virtual safety car on lap 1. Nothing else since then as these two continue to battle. And I do see Bolt now has caught up to Lynx. That strategy call from Lynx Piece at the moment has not worked in his favour, has it? And now another chance here for Ghost. Is he going to go? I'm surprised. He's still behind Hazer. Hazer in that lead, and Bolt now with a 30-second time penalty. How? Sorry, how has he got a 30-second time penalty? He wasn't even overtaking on a corner. He was on a straight. And he clearly didn't get pushed wide. So why on earth he's getting a 30-second time penalty? The only thing I can imagine him getting a potential penalty for would be, because he was a car on the inside, it's turn 1. Was it for crossing over on the pit lane? Maybe? Do you get a time penalty for that? Do you get a warning for that in this game? Then again, it's EA, you never really know. They can't even sort out esports, so it wouldn't shock me if you get warnings for crossing over the pit lane when you're not exiting the pit lane. Actually, that makes complete sense, really, from an EA game to do that. Yeah, actually, maybe that's the reason why. The game will just say, yep, fair penalty, slap it on. Right, back to this one then, with Ghost, and he's all over Hazer here. He will definitely go for the move here. And down into turn 1, and Ghost back into the race lead, I've got to say. I think these two, they are using their battery very, very wisely. Then again, Filthy Ghost, well, the 6 seconds of time penalties has really screwed this race. If he didn't get 6 seconds, if he didn't get any, it'd have been right in there for the win here. Hazer just needs to keep it within track limits, surely. And then Hazer will win. Let's see if, oh, sorry, I forgot about Speedy Bullet. Nope, Speedy Bullet is still not online as Mr. Poem now receives a 3-second time penalty. Let's get the penalty situation back on for you, Doug. 8 seconds, the most of any driver so far. There's only Hazer, Lynx, William, Coffee and Late Bloomer yet to receive a time penalty. 5 drivers out of 14. That's not ideal, is it? That could really impact things come the end of the race, but at the moment it may not impact things too much. Ghost will only lose to 1 spot even now, unless Bolt can close in, but then Bolt's got a penalty of his own. Still really down to Link's Piece as well, down at P4. And if there is a safety car now, does Link's Piece think, right, I've got to go mediums, whereas everyone else maybe has to go hard, potentially? Unless you've already used a different compound. If you've already used, say, soft tyres or a set of hards already, then yeah, you can use another set of mediums. But if you've only used 2 sets of mediums, well, you're a bit stuffed. If there is a safety car now, because you would have to go hard to the end. unless you decide, you know what, I have to risk the softs. Is that another time penalty for Merck? So I do believe I just saw. Was that Merck? Yes, it was. 6 seconds now for Merck in P5. And the time penalties are flying around here at Portimao. Might as well just keep the penalty situation on for you. It'll be a bit... I mean, it's almost better for you guys than the tyre situation. You know what? We'll keep the penalties on. Oh, what's Hazer? It's outside of 1 second now. And he's been pushing as well. I can clearly see that. He's been pushing to get back in it, but he's just not been able to. There's a gap to the leader on for you as well. I know it's very early to put this all on, but you can see the time penalties is really having some sort of impact here. Let's go back to the interval. That's to give you a little bit of an insight if you wanted to have a look at any specific timings around here. But Hazer has lost so much time. 1.5 seconds towards Ghost now. And there are no battles going on. Ghost has really taken Hazer away from this now. So any other potential battles going on? I don't believe there will be. Looking at the tyre life, you could see maybe Drac close William or Coffee close in on Drac. Then nope, that's not, well, Drac's not going to close in on William, and the reason why is William is now getting rid of his hards. And is he going to go mediums to the end now? Well, he might as well. He's gone so long on these hards, he might as well go mediums to the very end. And that is exactly what he's going to try and do now. So there you go, William is going to try and do a strategy call. Still no safety car to save this race though. Whatever has happened here, I mean, okay, I can see Ghost has clearly been pushing to get rid of Hazer, effectively. Let's have a little look. I'm just having a little look at the football scores whilst we're here, so if any of you racing are listening and care about the football, then the biggest games are here for you, and I'll read out the biggest games for you. Scottish Cup third round, because everybody cares about that. And Clyde are leading a team called Genefield Swifts by 2-0. Don't know who that Genefield Swifts are, to be honest with you. And Dunfermline, Neil, Rafe 3. I don't think anyone cares about the other games, do they? Championship, 2 small clubs. Rotherham United 1, Leeds United 1. Nobody cares about them, do they? In the Bundesliga, you got Cologne 0, Bayern Munich 1. That's full time. Kind of guess who scored that goal. Yep, of course it has to be Harry Kane. La Liga, Alaves leading Granada 3-0. I don't think anybody is too fussed on that one. But a big game in Ligue 1, in the French league, Paris Saint-Germain leading Monaco by 2-1. All the goals scored in the first half so far. Kylian Mbappe is one of the features on target from the penalty spot. Elsewhere, any other events? Not really at the moment. Shame there's no Premier League games on a Friday night. I wouldn't have minded giving that a readout, but nothing too major. Could argue Rotherham v Leeds amongst the most important tonight, but it's only 1-1 there. Leeds United pushing for promotion back to the Premier League. And then further down, Rotherham, I do believe, are battling relegation. So the fact that they're still drawing is a little bit of a surprise to me. Just sticking with Hazer, but I don't think he's closing in at all. I mean, he was definitely closing in on the likes of Ghost, Lynx and Poison earlier on in the race, but since he's lost at DRS, it's Ghost who has flew away. And look at the gaps between everybody on track. It just shows that consistency, the strategy calls as well. Some of them have been a bit unfortunate, perhaps, with the odd incident or two. Obviously we've seen a few DNFs, but still no full course safety car. Surely we're going to get one at some point in this race to close up this pack. At this rate, you might need to just give somebody a little whisper and say, mate, you just need to retire on track, you know? Just joking, obviously. Only, obviously, do it unintentionally. if you're going to end up binning yourself off, just do it unintentionally. Don't impact other people's races for no reason, you know. But there are no battles. Okay, Lynx is in. Hopefully Lynx piece gets put out behind maybe the Ferrari, which will be what, SR Racing. Some 20 laps on those softs. I mean, he might be pitting himself, to be fair. Let's see. Yeah, SR Racing does decide to box, so there'll be no friendly battle between himself and Lynx. So Lynx is back out, and he is in P7 on fresh mediums. And Lynx Piece will be running to the end of the race. And let's get that gap to the leader up. He is 39.4 seconds away from the top two. So we will keep watch of that delta time. Also realised that it's going to be freezing cold tomorrow morning. It's meant to be down to like 6 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. And that's during peak times. Like it's -2 tonight. And again, these are sort of the temperatures we've kind of expected, but we've not quite got to yet. So these are going to be the lowest temperatures that we're going to be reaching. -2. And highs of 6 degrees tomorrow. Oh, ouch. It's getting cold. Getting cold in the UK. Right. Something's happened here. What has happened here? Filthy Ghost has made a mistake. Out of absolutely nowhere, Hazer's alongside him. Into turn 5. And, well, Ghost has clearly decided, you know what, I want to make the action a little bit more enjoyable. Okay, I'm lying. He clearly didn't want that, but there you go. He's made a massive error. Whatever has happened, it's a big error from him. He only lost that time. It must have been through the triple right-hander. Turns 1, 2 and 3. Surely. Unless it was round at the bend, but he didn't look close enough, Hazer. The gap was closing down rapidly after the straight. So, a big error from Ghost. And it's allowed Hazer right back in this battle. And that would only allow for Lynx in P6 to close up as well. 34.5 seconds behind the top two. I don't think these top two want to box too early though. And they might be going soft to the end. It's to my surprise, no safety car. I mean, that's tricky. A 100% race without a safety car. At Portimao as well. Oh, is that another error from Ghost, you know? And now down the inside goes Hazer, you know. He's had enough of these Ghost errors. And he's going to overtake the Aston Martin and lead here at Portimao. But Ghost is getting right back at him, and down the inside he will go. A superb move into turn 7, and the Aston Martin returns to the race lead here at Portimao. Astounding stuff. Despite a couple of errors, certainly one big error just a lap and a half ago, Ghost returns to P1. Half a second the gap towards Hazen. We have a race on our hands here. Further down, Destroyer Drac now will lose out to Coffee on the run down to turn 1. Coffee just about stays within track limits. Destroyer Jack will stay in behind. Coffee back into P8 then. And the Alpine on the better tyres by 10 laps as well. What time is your guys Division 1 running? Hello, first of all, to Mano. And we run on Mondays at 8 o'clock PM UK time. So if you're not in the UK, it's currently, well, we start at 10 o'clock PM for tonight. 10 o'clock PM. So 8 o'clock PM tonight, my apologies. Got to think about the time then. So I'm getting tired. Jesus. It's 9:30 now. So yeah. So 8 o'clock PM on Monday nights UK time is when we start on Mondays. The only issue is right now there are literally no seats in Tier 1 available. They are completely full. So yeah, it'll be a struggle to get a Tier 1 seat based on the fact that it's completely full. And when I say completely full, we literally get near enough full grids every week at the moment in Tier 1. Since the start of the season, it's been either 19 or 20 drivers, I think, in every single race. In all 4. Oh! Ghost! A big snap and a slide from Filthy Ghost. That was filthy, it's fair to say. And he just about holds on to the lead, but wow, was he having a slide there. That was a panic stations for him. There were yellow flags briefly further back as well. Is he going to think about boxing now? It would not surprise me. He stays out, however. That surprised me a little bit, but here comes an opportunity potentially for the AlphaTauri of Hazer, but he does not want to go around the outside. He stays in behind and slots in, remaining P2. The caps are still there for you to see. Is that a battle going on further back? No. So the timings are just lying to me. There is no closeness in regards to Speedy Bullet and PRV Widget. Would have been nice if the game decided to tell the truth on that one. I do believe William and Late Bloomer potentially are having a little battle though. Is that William? Or was William absolutely miles ahead? Well, I think William's miles ahead. I think he's about to be lapped actually. Late Bloomer and that Mercedes, because he's behind, I believe, Merck, is it? Yeah, he's behind Merck. Never mind, I lied. Right, back to this one then. And back to the action between Hazer and Ghost. Also to note, SR Racing. He's about to get a position here because he's drawn alongside and he overtakes Destroyer Drac. And down into turn 1 and the Ferrari flies through. It's up to P9. Again with time penalties on the board. No, you're welcome, man. I don't know if our Discord link works. If you would like me to post a Discord link, I can very much do that. Just let me know if you would like me to, and I will definitely send it in for you. We if you did want to join, we do trial races though. We normally do them on Thursdays and or Sundays, so it would normally hover around, I believe, about 7ish normally. Oh, that Ghost is round. We knew he's been having errors through the last few laps, and now he is around. And your threat for the P1 is now down to P3 and still needs to pit. And that is not good for Ghost. What's happened to him this race here? Oh, Ghost is now, I think... Oh, that's harsh, isn't it? Ghost, I think Bolt was... Did he pass him under yellow flags when Ghost was pretty much stationary? That's a bit unfair, isn't it? It's a bit harsh from the game to force Bolt to have to give Ghost a place back, but I think that's what's happened as SR Racing takes Coffee, gets a fast lap to boot, 5 laps on his mediums, and SR Racing up into the top 8 now. So Coffee we saw not too long ago pass Drac, but SR Racing has got them both. Woody Fernandez on his mediums will be catching, but he will be slower come the end of the event as well. But now there's no battles going on in regards to a potential win. And into the pits goes Hazer. I think he's decided, you know what? You made a massive error there. And now Filthy Ghost is also in. He gets a 5-second time penalty. And this has gone from bad to worse for the Aston Martin. Filthy Ghost with a filthy pit lane entry. And that will be 14 seconds of time penalties for Filthy Ghost. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, this could put him anywhere now. He's got 14 seconds. Where is he going to finish this race? Because that's about, what, half a pit stop that he's effectively losing out on there. I mean, over half a pit stop. He's only 23 seconds behind Bolt. And he was behind Bolt. So he's losing more than half a pit stop with his 14 seconds of penalties. I know a lot of other drivers do have penalties as well. There's a pit stop situation. The top 2 are the only ones yet to make 2 stops in this race. Everyone else has made 2 stops. And the penalty situation is all there for you as well. Fastest lap, SR Racing, 120.289. Got to say, much quicker than everybody else. Link's Piece was the closest to it. A 120.324 for him. Let's go. Should we stick with this information or do we want to keep the tyres on for now? I think we'll keep the tyre situation on for now. And then once we get down to the final few laps, we'll turn it back. So go back to the interval, and Rusted Bolt is into the pit. Link's piece closing in on Hazer. Or is he? I don't think he is, truly. Link's piece, I think those medium tyres are not going to help him out here. Sadly, he will lose out on time towards Hazer. I know he's close right now, but Hazer's tyres will be vastly superior to the Haas. So no chance for Lynx to keep pace with Hazer, is there? Or is there? That's the question. William now closing in on Destroyer Jack. William's done brilliantly to get himself back into this. I mean, he could still push for a potential top 10 finish here, William. And into P9 he goes, and it's a 5-second penalty to Destroyer Jack. I think that's his second time as well this race, is it? I think it is, because he got one earlier, but he did serve it straight away. So it's a big issue, this. These 5-second penalties. 2 for Destroyer Jack and 2 for Filthy Ghost this race, if my math serves me right. It might just be the 1 for Filthy Ghost, but I know it's definitely 2 for Destroyer Jack. Okay, back to the tyres we go. And there are no battles going on right now, so keep that in mind. Only makes it better to look through the penalty situation. So how will the race finish right now? Well, listen, Merckx going to have to box again no matter what, so kind of can think about removing him from where he is and slot him down to P5 with 6 seconds of time penalties. I think he has enough to beat Doug and Mr. Poem, based on the fact he will have fresher tyres, he will be ahead. He only needs to beat him by 3 seconds. Can he beat Rusted Bolt or Lynx? Lynx will be... I don't think he can beat Lynx. He could potentially beat Ghost if he boxes this lap. Or any time very soon. Maybe he's not expecting it, but he will see Ghost on his 5 driver view. He will see Ghost has 14 seconds of time penalties. And you, from what I've seen in this race, you will lose about, what, 21, 22 seconds in the pit lane? Not much time, really. So, if he loses, say, if you lose 21, 22 seconds, the gap to Ghost at the moment hovering about 23 seconds, just over. He will come out effectively well off Ghost, but he'll be on fresher tyres, but he stays out. He's obviously got to get 6 seconds advantage as well later in the race. You know something that will kill Ghost if there's a safety car. Yes, you can serve 5 seconds, but wow, 14 seconds in total for penalties. Safety cars will kill the likes of Merc and Ghost in this race, and Drac as well. And again, Drac can serve his 5 seconds. Widget 6 seconds? Won't be great for him. Belows without penalties will definitely love a safety car. Except for Hazer. Hazer would not love a safety car because he is going to come away with a win. Unless a miracle happens here. So back to the tyre situation, and Hazer flying away from the field. And no surprise on that. The best tyres right now will go towards Coffee. 1 lap on those soft tyres. But look at the gap between himself and William, his teammate. Question now, can Coffee catch his teammate by the end of this race? He's got 17 laps. He's on soft tyres. And he's got his teammate William on 12 lap old mediums. So which Alpine comes out on top here with their 2... Was it a 2-stopper for Coffee or a 3-stopper? I reckon it might have been a 3-stopper. Yep, he's the only one who's done a 3-stop strategy. Into the pit goes your former race leader Merc. And of course he needed to pit again anyway. So a 2nd stop for Merc. And the only driver who didn't make 2 stops has now made his 2nd stop. And we'll see where he comes out. And I think by the looks of it, is he going to come out in P5 or will he drop behind Doug? He's not going to drop behind Doug because Doug also goes into the pits. Why? I mean, he goes very slowly, almost too slowly, for the fact that he just doesn't want to get a 5-second penalty. Why has he gone in? He's obviously going to go soft to the end, but... Why? Why has he done that? That is... Okay, that's a strategy call if ever you called it that, but there you go. Doug has decided to box on the same lap as Merck, even though he may have been around where Merck was. May have been targeting a top 5 there for Doug. It's not like he had 5 seconds to serve in the pit lane. So whatever he's decided on there, I don't honestly know. I have to admit, I am very surprised at Doug's decision to box. But that is what he's decided. That is what he's decided. Who knows? It may help him out and help him secure a P9 come the end of the race. But, you know, I'm joking. He might actually catch up to William. And there's an off chance his tyres may be good enough at the end to beat SR Racing if SR Racing doesn't box again. So in all fairness, Doug could still take home a P7, for instance. But he's got time penalties as well. He's going to have to clear William by a margin. Oh, yellow flags, yellow flags. There's an Aston Martin. Don't tell me it's Ghost again. What is going on with Ghost on the exit of turn 4? He was back round. He's down to P4. And now he's got Merck about a postcode behind him. I thought he was closing that. Wow, filthy Ghost. This is not... Oh my goodness gracious. He spun it. He's doing a little show for us now. He's like, oh, I don't want to be on the screen. I'll just go for some spins and do some donuts instead. Don't tell me he's going to do another donut sometime soon. Can't afford another donut round here. Get too many of them, they'll fill the entire track here at Portimao. So, just be a little bit careful. I think there's only one driver we can stick with. It has to be Ghost. That sounds so horrible, doesn't it? Oh no! Oh god, filthy Ghost. Wow, what? That's amazing. That is amazing. That's a 360. That is. I've got to clap that one. I'm sorry, I have to clap that one. Brilliant, filthy Ghost, man. Wow. A full 360 and he still keeps it going. What? Told you he's doing donuts. He's doing donuts, but you know what? Fair enough. If he keeps it in a straight line afterwards, he can do 360s all he wants. His tyres might get a little bit hot if he kept doing that. I don't know why he's spinning so much. But that 360 has got to be the best of the lot. The fact that he was able to keep it in a straight line. Oh, yellow flags for Mercedes. The only one is Speedy Bullet. So then they get nope. No, that's a lie. There's the bottom two. Speedy Bullet or late bloomers. Off track goes Ghost again. He's really struggling, but he has very strong pace. So I don't even know what I'm thinking of Ghost right now. Do I think wow he drove so well, or do I think wow he has really struggled? I'm sort of right in the middle of that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe I'm not in the middle of that anymore. Fugo's Merc, Fugo's Mr. Poem. Come on, where's a donut, Ghost? I just want to see donuts now. See a donut, see a pirouette, get a 360, and go back in a straight line. That's all you need to do. Don't tell me he's going to do it here on the exit. Oh no! Oh, what a donut that. Oh, come on, that is. It's not quite as good. It's not quite as good. We'll give that one about a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10 purely for the fact that he wasn't really going at a quick enough speed. Can only give it a 4 out of 10 for that one. Got to go better on the next one, Ghost. Oh, he's retired in the pit. I'm not surprised. He's spun like so many times. The last one was a 4 out of 10, but the best one he done had to be a solid 9 out of 10 minimum. That was a superb pirouette there from Ghost. I think, it must have been about lap 51, 52. But that was a pirouette and a half. Okay, maybe not a half. It was a full pirouette 360 from Ghost. That was stunning. The last one almost, but just didn't have the same speed to carry in. I know, we're focused so much on the donuts right now. Pretty much that Ghost was seemingly doing. Right, we're back to the racing then. What racing are we talking about? Who could potentially catch up to anybody? None of these guys can. Unless there's any mistakes made. It looks like the top 7 should... The top 6 looks like it's settled, but Doug is probably the one to watch. Merrick sets the fastest up at 1:18.9. We'll stick with Doug for the meantime. Actually, no, I've just realised I've got the gap to the leader on. I lied. We're going towards Rusted Bolt because he's catching Link's piece 2 seconds behind him with 7-lap fresher tyres, and he's on soft. Link's is on mediums. I don't imagine Lynx will have much to defend with. The only factor is Bolt has a time penalty to boot. That could really play into the hands of Link's piece here. If he could stick with him, that's a big question though. Right, let's see then. Oh, I missed 2 left the session. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go through everybody. Oh, was that? No, it wasn't a spin. Sorry. Somebody left, but I do not know who. Let's keep going with this. It was it Widget? Yeah, it was Widget. Right, we'll give Widget a little invitation back in. Hopefully, it won't take him too long before he returns to the race. Speedy Bullet, meanwhile, is still not in and obviously has decided not to race, so pretty much leave it at that. Unless he wants a late invite, but he's not online again, so no invitation will be coming for Speedy Bullet. As a result, he will not be taking any points away because he's not even raced any of it. Apart from like a few laps, that's about it. Right, we'll go back towards Lee's 2 then. Link's piece and Bolt. I think Bolt is about to take him, but with a number of time penalties, there's only 3 seconds to be fair to Bolt. I think he could end up finishing ahead of Link's come the end of this. P2 for Rusted Bolt. Who would have anticipated that? Well, maybe not me. Maybe not me in all fairness. Oh, a Bloomer's apparently out as well. Wait, Widget's in, Bloomer is out. I mean, these guys are on Xbox, so they should actually be able to join off me anyway. There's also Destroyer Jack and Coffee are very close together, these two. And are they closing in on Doug? Well, the question to that should really be no, based on Doug's tyres being much better. And you can certainly see Doug is catching as well. He is catching up towards William. And he might have enough in him to take SR Racing. He's about 10 seconds behind now. So on track, Doug could end up beating both SR Racing and William. He's got the best tyres apart from Late Bloomer in this race. Let's see if I can give Late Bloomer an invite into it. There you go, just sent him an invitation to get back in. Hopefully he can. Destroyer Jack was able to hold on ahead of Coffee in P9, but then they got a Mercedes, I think that is Speedy Bullet, behind them. But let's just stick then with these two. Bolt has really pulled away. 2 seconds now between Rusted Bolt and Lynx. He needs 3 seconds in total here. And let's just stick. But I think Jack is just pulling away. Coffee is not particularly close to him. And he doesn't even have DRS either. So Jack has cleared Coffee. Yes, he has time penalties. Unfortunately, 8 seconds worth. So come the end of it, Jack may still fall behind Coffee. And is likely to fall behind the Dutchman. But he's going to try and catch up maybe to William or SR Racing come the end of this event. Issue for William Doug has already caught him up. Doug does have time penalties. William doesn't, again. But this is more favourable towards Doug. Still crazy how there's been no safety cars as well. Only the one virtual safety car, and that was on lap 1. You would have been forgiven if you had thought there would be many more after lap, but no more. And now here comes Doug. He's going to get the pass done on William. No real fight there from the Alpine. He knows there's no chance. He's got all of his battery, you know. He could have tried to defend it if he wanted to. Wouldn't this be amazing if he uses all of that battery to re-overtake? Yeah, he doesn't. Doug stays well ahead. And again, what Doug there was correct. He done the one defensive move, and he slowly returned to the racing line to take the next corner. That is perfect. That is exactly what Doug and anyone needs to do when you're defending position. You don't need to be weaving left to right very quickly. You just need a one change. But, you know, who knows? Right, let's see. Any other battles going on right now after Doug got the move done? Well, he will catch up towards his teammate. Mr. Poems into the pits. Oh, this is an interesting call here from Mr. Poem. Maybe he just wants to have a race on his hands. He's going to go for soft. He's going to try and get the fastest lap. And if he's going to try and go for fast lap, it would not shock me if Merck thinks about a box as well. Because Merck now has free reign, effectively to pit again. And Mr. Poem comes out behind William, behind Doug, behind SR Racing. He does have a time penalty as well, Mr. Poem. I think the time has come to get the penalty situation on for the remainder of this race. So we know Poem has fresh tyres, we know Doug has fairly fresh tyres, but not fresh, anywhere near as fresh as Poem's. So, I will also note for this tier it is a realistic cars tier, so anybody new out there watching, it's realistic car, so it's a realistic performing AlphaTauri leading the race. These two are in realistic performing Ferrari cars. They are P5 and P6. Two Mercedes struggling, but they are not even in Nate Bloomer or Speedy Bullet. Bloomer has at least tried to race though. He's done the majority of it. Speedy Bullet hasn't even bothered. If you didn't want to race, just say so, or don't turn up. You know, one of the two. Would have been a bit easier. Or retire in the pit lane or whatever. You know, just make it a little bit easier. Because your AI being on track isn't really helpful if there's a safety car. And Doug has got SR Racing, who goes into the pit. Why? Why is everybody boxing? I don't understand this. Has he just gone for mediums? Sorry. Medium tyres! Hey, you got 6 laps remaining. Why are you going for medium tyres with 6 laps to go? What is going on here? He's actually gone for mediums with 6 laps remaining. Wow. You can tell some people don't quite have the experience when it comes to the 100% tier racing. Crikey. Medium tyres though. I mean, surely just stay out. You might lose places, but stay out and just try and take whatever position you can get. But why has he gone for mediums? I mean, he may get one position now. It might take Destroyer Jack as well, so that's 2 places. But he's not going to get any more than 2 spots, surely. Anyways, Mr. Poem now is on the back of William, and I do envision this won't be made too challenging. Or it might be. It might be, to be fair. Hopefully it's not Brazil all over again for Willie Fernandez and Mr. Poem. SR Racing with a 3-second penalty. And Mr. Poem getting all over. Very close, extremely close in fact, but does get the move done on Willie Fernandez. Will William fight it back into turn 1? Willie stays in the slipstream here. William not raced for quite a while it seems, but he's definitely getting back in his groove after having to box lap 1 with no safety car to be in P7. I think it's a solid job for William for sure to be back in this position. I'd kind of like to know what exactly has happened, especially when it comes to I just want to know what exactly happened down on lap 1 for the first few corners, because Brudog got a DNF and William had to change his front wing, so something clearly happened, but I cannot guarantee you what had happened. Maybe I could check the incidents list, the race directory screen at the end. It might tell me who had severe or minor contact or warnings or whatever. So maybe I can have a look at that. But again, that would only give me... that won't give me much information really. Because it might have been after Brudog spun, then somebody else got a warning, for instance. Right, Mr. Poem is catching Doug, as you would anticipate really. No doubt he's not going to take away anything higher than a top 5 finish, but it looks like a top 5 finish it will be for Mr. Poem. I have to note as well, Russell Bolt is catching Hazer, not catching him rapidly, don't get me wrong. 3.6 seconds. 1 lap first tyres, only 1 lap. But he's still catching him. And he is clear of Lynx right now. That gap is about 3.8 seconds between Bolt and Lynx Peace. And that gap has actually opened up again. It's over 4 seconds now. Bolt is still really turning on the burners here. At 30 seconds behind Hazer. Keeps up with this improvement. It wouldn't shock me if he catches Hazer by the end of the race, but he's not going to come away with the win due to the time penalty. As back towards this little ding-dong battle we go. Doug versus Mr. Poem. No, it's not open lobby racing. It is a league race. Do they know it? As here goes Mr. Poem. He flies past Doug. Unable to defend it, or can he? Just hangs in behind there. Trying to defend, but it was always going to be tricky for him. And there you go, Mr. Poem takes Doug and is up into the top 5. And there you go, through goes the Alfa Romeo then. Let's see anything else. Further back, Coffee and SR Racing are battling. Got a Mercedes, a ghosted Mercedes. Is it Bloomer? Is it Speedy Bullet? Play a little bit of bingo, then you might get the result. I do believe. Oh, SR Racing. Coffee, I think he's played a little bit of DRS chicken there. SR Racing looked like he was going to go for the move, but I think he didn't. I think Coffee's played it a very strategy cool there, but here goes a move from SR Racing. He's flying round the outside on Coffee, and he takes Coffee. In the end, a little bit on the aggressive side, but he does take the Alpine, and SR Racing up into P9. Now, he's got to finish 6 seconds clear of him. Can he finish 6 seconds clear of him? Again, it will not be an easy task for the Ferrari, but he does have the better tyres in comparison. But also SR Racing's on mediums. Not beneficial, really, for him. Mr. Poem now trying to put out a gap on Doug. He doesn't necessarily need to put out a gap on Doug. In fact, he is quite comfortable now in P5. PRV Widget has 9 seconds in total and is now the new penalty leader with 9 seconds in total, just ahead of Drac, who has 8 seconds this race. Filthy Ghost, of course, did have 14 seconds, but has DNF'd. So Mr. Poem 40 seconds away from the leaders. Hazer still running away with it, but 2.8 seconds. Bolt has kept him honest. He has kept him honest, but they have started the penultimate lap of the race, and Hazer is clear of the chasing pack here. Gonna go towards this one because SR Racing, as things stand, will finish ahead of Destroyer Drac, but again, they are now separated by about a second, so SR Racing will be in DRS range of the Williams of Destroyer Drac here. And we'll just wait a few corners because we'll need that before he gets DRS on the Williams. But SR Racing 2 seconds fewer on penalties, but he does still need to finish 6 seconds clear of Coffee. And he has already opened up about 4.5 seconds on Coffee as well. So no doubt here SR Racing should be able to take Drac. And then it's all about finishing 6 seconds ahead of Coffee. Here he goes, round the bend. And this is it. And into the pit goes Drac. Okay. Destroyed Drac has gone into the pit. He has obviously decided he wants to get the fastest lap. They all want the fastest lap here. What is the current fastest lap though? It's, not there. So 118.9 for Merck is your current fastest lap. So they've got to beat a 118.9 if they want to come away with pole. Not pole, fastest lap obviously, you know what I mean. Right. Now, the final lap has kick-started for Hazer and Bolt. 1.6 seconds is the gap here. Yellow flag. Oh, hang on. What's happened? Oh no, he's run out of fuel, Mr. Poem. Is he completely out of fuel? Yes, he is. He's out of fuel. And this is going to be a long final lap for Mr. Poem. He's going to go in. This will be a really dramatic final lap for him. He's going to be so slow. There you go. He's like a McLaren Honda down the straight, powering through. Check his telemetry there. Look at him going at 112. How is that 112 miles per hour? That should be a speeding penalty for Mr. Poem there. Clearly, 112 miles per hour. What is this game on? That is not 112 miles per hour. What is the game talking about? He was going as slow as anything. That is never 112. Never. What game? Now, how low down will he finish? Well, either way, we're going to go around because Hazer wins and Russell Bolt takes P2. There you go, the two AlphaTauri teammates in Tier 1. I take a 1 and 2 here. Superbly done. Link's Peace does take home a podium. Merck P4 didn't want to come away with a fast lap low. Didn't want to push for it. Doug, I'll say, he will hold on here to P5. It's been incredible, really, for him. As Mr. Poem takes a 10-second penalty for track limits. Track limits, he was probably going about 10 miles per hour there to get a track limits. Anyways, here comes Douglas, and eventually he will pass the line, and he gets P5. Next up will be Willie Fernandez. Another 10 seconds for Mr. Poe. That's 23 seconds in total. It doesn't even matter because Drac has finished his lap. Well, he finishes in P10 anyways. Same as Widget and Williams cross the line in P6. SR Racing P7. Coffee will come through in P8. Widget takes P11. Speedy put it P13, but doesn't really count, does it? I'd rather give those points to Late Bloomer. Here comes Mr. Poem, though, accelerating away at an incredible speed of 95 miles per hour. It's going down. It's 90 miles per hour now. It's 88, 87. And there you go. 87 miles per hour, Poem flying down the straight. And he comes home in P9. He'll be, a bit disappointed in the end to only take P9. But either way, he still gets points on the board. But Hazer once again taking the win. Now thinking about potential driver of the day. Good question. I think Hazer obviously will have to be there. I still don't know what exactly happened with the likes of Brewdog and Poison, so it's tricky to say on that. I think I have to include William, surely. Alright, the podium celebrations have been on long enough, and there you go, the final results, I've got to say. Superbly done. Hazer, Bolt, Lynx, Merck, Doug, William, SR Racing, Coffee, Mr. Poem, Destroyer, Drac, PRV, Widget, Late Bloomer. They've all done very well. Yeah, superbly done here. If we have a look also, race directory screen. Right. We get no confirmation of anything of what happened on lap 1, so no warnings at all there, sadly. So anything with poison, exceeded track limits lap 6, but it was much later than that when he got the DNF. Oh, we didn't get to the end, but either way, that's been a 100% tier race done. And congratulations though to Hazer and Rusted Bolt P2 as well. Very well played out for those two. Let's sort out a raid as well. Who shall we raid tonight? Let's have a look. F123. Right, who is online? Oh gosh, Otis Lawrence is doing open lobbies. You guys want to get in on the action of open lobbies, and there you go. Yeah, he's got what? Declan Barrett is in now, I see. Okay. If any of you are filling in quick, then you've got Otis Lawrence doing open lobbies. Anybody else? There's no point really. Is there any point going with Otis Lawrence? Surely not. There's not many options out there though. There was somebody near the top. Spin 79. What's he doing? Doing quali. He's doing quali on intermediate tyres at Abu Dhabi. Yeah, probably not him. Is this guy doing open lobbies or what is he doing? Oh, I see a certain driver who's in our league in this race. Krazam. Okay, Krazam's there. He's in P4. He's doing a decent job. Go on, Krazam. Oh, why is he dropping down? Legit, Krazam's in this race. Alfred Bulbasaur. Oh, God, that's a tricky spelling. Jesus. Anybody else? Le Pack. He's doing Portimao as well. Of course, he's doing Portimao as well. Should we just do the guy who's actually doing whatever race this is? I don't know. But you've got Krazam involved as well. You know what? We'll just go with it. Krazam's actually racing, so you know what? We'll go along with this. Try and get his bloody name though. Alfred Bulbasaur. Okay. Anyways, thank you for watching then tonight. We have been UFRL, I have been Viva F1 Comms, and good night.